Здравствуйте, студенты! Меня зовут Veronica, and today this Russian lesson we will discuss two very interesting topics that many Russian learners would like to discuss. The first one, do you really need a Russian teacher? Or you can learn Russian without teacher, with YouTube, with language exchange, or with your friends, I mean Russian friends, and some other sources. And the question number two is even more interesting. And it is, can you learn Russian like a kid without grammar? And let me introduce myself. I would like you to understand that my opinion is quite, how to say, professional. Yeah, I'm a professional Russian teacher. I graduated from one of the best universities here in Russia, Lomonosov, Moscow State University, philology department, and 5 years there I studied how to teach Russian to foreigners. This is my real, true profession. And all my students successfully passed all the exams, and I have even one student who I'm very proud of because he has a certified C2 level. He is from Japan, he is a Japanese diplomat, and he speaks like a Russian person. And it is not only my opinion, he successfully passed the exam that proves his level of speaking. And also, I taught Russian to many different students from international big, huge companies and from embassies. So yes, I am a real professional Russian teacher. And now let's talk about the first question. Do you need a teacher? Why do you need a teacher? Because a teacher corrects your mistakes. Now I would like to share with you one fact. At that time, I was quite young. I'm still quite young, yeah. But at that time, I just graduated from university. I was around 23, 24, and I just started to work. Maybe I had 1 or 2 years of teaching experience. And I had a new student from America. He spoke Russian quite well at that time. And at our first lesson, I don't like to give the test because I think it's boring. I just sit in the classroom and I talk with my students. I start at the beginning lesson, at the first one. When we meet for the first time, I start to ask different questions, like from very easy to more difficult, yeah. And I can understand what level the student has. So I asked, what is your name? Как тебя зовут? Where are you from? Откуда ты? Why do you want to learn Russian? Почему ты учишь русский язык? And many others. And I understood his level is around B1. And I was quite happy because it's interesting, yeah. And he made a mistake. I corrected him. He said, я всегда перепутаю эти слова. I always mix these words. Let me repeat. Я всегда перепутаю эти слова. If you know Russian quite well, you will understand he made a mistake. He should say imperfective because there is the word всегда. He should say я всегда путаю эти слова. And I corrected him. He became very irritated and angry. He started to blame me. He said, you are a young teacher. You are a bad teacher. I said it correctly, and you are not right. And I said, okay, you can ask anybody, any other teacher who is older and I don't know, who you like more, who you believe and trust more. And he said, like, I learned Russian many years, like 5 years, and nobody corrected me. I have many Russian friends. I had a Russian girlfriend, and I always say, я всегда перепутаю эти слова. And nobody corrected me. You are a bad teacher. And after this, he opened the door and went to my boss, to my senior teacher, and he said, yes, she, Veronica, corrected me and she is wrong. And my boss, of course, said, no, you are wrong. You made a mistake. And he was walking through all the institute and asking if he is right or not. And yeah, so he didn't understand. He was all these 5 years repeating this mistake. And if you don't have a teacher, nobody will correct you. Or maybe they will correct, but normally friends, they are more, how to say, compromising. Like they don't want to correct you all the time, right? So they want to be kind and nice to you. That's why you need a teacher. A teacher corrects your mistakes. But yes, you can say, okay, I have many Russian friends and I can ask them to correct me every time and they will do this. Why do I need to pay you? Why do I need? And here is another thing, number two, because a teacher explains your mistakes. Um, Most probably, if you have Russian friends or Russian girlfriend or Russian boyfriend, wife, husband, any and the relatives, yeah, they can correct your mistakes, but normally they cannot explain them. They will just say, "Oh, I don't know, but we just don't say this. It sounds unnatural. It sounds not Russian." And you will not understand the mechanism. Why did you make this mistake? And the teacher can easily explain because, uh, for example, in that sentence that I told you before, я всегда перепутаю эти глаголы. Here you need to say путаю because you have this word, this adverb of frequency. Всегда, if you see this, всегда, it indicates you need to use imperfective verb aspect putаю. That's it. And if it happened many times, if it is a frequent, regular action, also you need to use imperfective verb putаю. And yeah, that's why you need to pay a Russian teacher. Because, yeah, and many Russian, okay, this is the next point. Wait a second. Number 3, a teacher has a lot of experience because we have many students. For example, if I have a student from, let's say, Germany, or I have a student from Italy or Spanish-speaking countries, I already know. I've never seen this student. He is totally new for me, but I already know what mistakes in phonetics, in grammar, in words he or she will have. Because I have experience, I had many students from these countries and all of them constantly repeating the same mistakes because they have the same background. And if you are just a Russian native speaker, you do not know this information. For example, I know that Spanish-speaking people, they mix b and v, z and s, and I know how to explain these sounds, how to help my students to pronounce these sounds correctly. And I know that, for example, English speaking people do not know conjugations, and this is very difficult for them, but it is more easy for Spanish speaking, Italian speaking, or French speaking students. Yeah. Uh, and I have a program. For example, there is, how do you call this in English? Okay, in Russian we say лексический минимум. It is the set of words that you need for some level. Like if you are a beginner, you need these words. If you are higher level, you need these amount of words, yeah. And the higher your level is, the more words you need. It's like logical, yeah, situation. And yeah, and when I teach my students, I use only those words that they already know. And if you speak with a Russian native speaker, he doesn't know what words do you know, what grammar do you know. He or she always uses the slang words and new words, and you are completely lost. And a teacher helps you not to be frustrated, because if you always do not understand what a person says to you, you of course feel unhappy and upset, and you feel desperate, and you don't want to learn Russian anymore. So yes, that's why you need to pay to a teacher. But of course, all of this depends on your aim. If you just want to entertain yourself a little bit and you feel like it's boring, yeah, and you don't really need Russian language. I mean, you don't need it for job, you don't need it for study and for your everyday life. Yes, at that moment, you do not need a Russian teacher. It's already fine with YouTube or with some another online sources and your Russian friends. It's like more for fun. And of course, you don't need to pay extra money for a teacher because it is not serious. But if you want to learn Russian serious, of course, you do really need a teacher because, for example, Japanese students, they have some different difficulty with pronouncing L and R. Yeah, they sometimes mix these two sounds. So, for example, my name, and sometimes they mix B and V. Not always, but sometimes. My name in English is Veronica, and Japanese students, they say Bilonika, and they don't hear any difference. Veronica, Bilonika, Veronica, Bilonika. And I can correct them and I can explain. But when they say it without me, they say, like they think that they say Veronica. Really. Yeah, this is why you need a teacher. Teacher can correct you, can explain you, and he or she will help you to keep your enthusiasm in learning. I hope you understand because my English sometimes is not very good, but yes, English is not my native language, so I hope you can really understand what I'm talking about. If I said something weird in English or you didn't understand my idea because I said something wrong, please correct me in comments because I don't want to keep saying strange things. And we move to the next question that is really interesting. And you already know my answer. Can you learn Russian like a kid without grammar? No, no, no. Нет. It is totally impossible, I think, because, okay, it again depends on your target. Why do you learn Russian? If you learn it for fun, that's okay. You just open a dictionary and you open some different YouTube channels and you are happy, you know, some funny words, some здравствуйте, до свидания, спасибо, пожалуйста, and that's enough. But if you want to learn Russian seriously for your life, for your job, for studies, for everyday communication, of course you need to know and to learn Russian grammar. It's like one of men in this one man in this group on Facebook, Klaus, he told, "This is a skeleton of the language. Try to move without skeleton." And I do really love this idea because it's very good and it's very, how to say, simple to understand. Really, grammar is a skeleton and you cannot speak without skeleton of the language. Like you cannot move without it, really. So yeah, I have the example. So if you want to learn without grammar, let's try to do this here now. You have this example in Russian. Мне means I, нравится, like, играть, to play, с, with кошками, cats. Мне нравится играть с кошками. I like to play with cats. Another example. У меня есть кошка. У меня, I have, есть, like this is the construction I have, yeah. Кошка, cat. So now you know that we have some different I, like мне or у меня, and you have some different words for cats. Yeah, кошками, кошка. Okay, okay. And you don't care about grammar, right? So you say something like мне means I, есть means have, кошками means cats. You want to say I have cats, and you say this, мне есть кошками. It's a huge mistake. It's absolutely not understandable sentence. It has no sense. It's totally nonsense and ridiculous. Мне есть кошками. It's impossible to understand what you want to say because here you have only words, but they are not connected in a grammatical relation, yeah? So, мне есть кошками, it's like in English you would say something like me cats. What does it mean, me cats? Me cats in English. I think it means like nothing. What you can imagine, there is a man and you are talking with him and suddenly he says something like, yeah, me cats. What does it mean? Nothing. Because there is no grammar, and that's why there is no sense in this sentence. Also, I have another example from my teaching practice. I had a student, he was a boy around 15. He was a bilingual. His mother is Russian and his father is from Argentina. And most of his life he spent in Argentina. He was speaking Spanish and he was speaking Russian only with his mother. So his Russian was like in this method. He knew many words, but he didn't care about Russian grammar. So he constantly was saying something like «Я идет на помой мама». «Я идет на помой мама». It's a disaster. Maybe, I think he wanted to say like I go to my mother, something like, yeah, I go to my mother, but я идет на помой мама, it means something like I go to the rubbish with my mother, or I'm going to wash my mother, something really strange and weird, yeah. So that's why you need to learn Russian grammar. I hope that this video was very interesting for you, because why did I decide to make this video? Because I had some argument on one Russian group on Facebook, because there a Spanish teacher wrote me that you do not need to learn Russian grammar, and I got a little bit angry because you should learn Russian grammar with a teacher. So yeah, I hope this was not too intensive, but yeah. Спасибо за просмотр. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Увидимся скоро. Пока-пока. Bye-bye. I'm sorry that my camera today is completely bad quality because we have not enough sun and it's very cloudy outside, and that's why the quality is so bad. I'm sorry. Спасибо и пока-пока. До свидания.